Now, the trial of Pastor Timothy Omotoso will continue in the Port Elizabeth High Court this morning. Omotoso's legal representative, Peter Daubermann, will continue to cross-question state witness Andisiwe Dike. Yesterday, Daubermann honed in on inaccuracies in Dike's written statement to police and her oral evidence in court, saying that the police officer claimed to have recorded the statement as accurately as possible. The court also heard that Omotoso and his two accused, Lusanda, Sulani and Zukiswa, Sitho, will deny knowledge of the sexual assaults mentioned by the state witness. The pastor and co-accused, Lusanda, Sulani and Zukiswa, Sitho, face a total of 97 charges. Our reporter, Nqonji, is in court to bring us more on the story. Very good morning to you, Anda. Just a quick wrap of what happened yesterday.
A very good morning to you too. Basically, yesterday we heard Omotoso's defense lawyer, Peter Daubermann, tell the court that he did get a chance to consult with the police officer that took the statement or the written statement of first witness Andisiwe Dike, after telling the court that he could not proceed with the cross-examinations as the statement had some bit of problems because it was a lot different from what Andisiwe Dike mentioned in court, and he said that it was inaccurate. Rather, according to Dike, the statement contained a lot of errors, and many a times than not, she mentioned that she had not said something that Daubermann was mentioning whilst he was reading through her statement. So basically, he came back saying that the officer did in fact mention that the statement was 100% accurate and that she did write it down exactly the way Andisiwe Dike was saying it or was telling to her, despite the fact that obviously the statement was given, or Andisiwe mentioned to court that she was speaking isiXhosa to an isiXhosa officer when she was giving the statement that was later written in English. Andisiwe maintained that indeed the statement was incorrect and inaccurate, and she did mention that she will stand her ground and will not, bend in any form. But anyway, Daubermann decided to continue with the cross-examination, probing Andisiwe as to why is it that she never left the mission house, even though there was nothing preventing her from leaving, asking her if was there anyone or anything physically preventing her from getting up and leaving, and she said no. When she was asked why didn't she leave, she mentioned that she was afraid because she had been warned by a number of church members that should she leave, she will be cast by Omotoso and that her life would not go well, because as you would know that one of the reasons why she went there was to get some blessings and to get her life moving and to rectify her life, as she had dropped out of school and was going through a very dark corner, was an alcoholic at that point in time. She was trying to get her business off the ground, but she says nothing was going according to plan. But Daubermann did ask Andisiwe with some of the questions pertaining to the statement that she gave, telling her a number of things and stating that his Omotoso and accused, the people that he is representing, would deny or were denying many of the occasions that she had mentioned earlier on. So that is basically what went on in court today. We are expecting even today that Daubermann will continue to probe Andisiwe and ask her on some of the things that she raised inside court, which obviously we know now that Omotoso and the co-accused are actually denying everything, not just the incidents, actually not just the acts that Andisiwe says were done or were performed to her, but also the incidents as whole. He did outline some of the few incidents that evidently are clearly going to be denied by Omotoso and both the co-accused. Back to you.
And with media at the moment not being allowed to record live proceedings, just give us a sense of the responses in court. Is there still that sense of shock and dismay at the revelations?
Indeed, we do see people from time to time that actually express, you hear some noises each time Andisiwe Dike reveals some information, especially new information pertaining to the alleged sexual sexual acts that were performed on her against her will. But I must mention that the response in terms of the people who were attending court previously when Cheryl Zondi was still giving the testimony has indeed decreased, as there are fewer people inside court, and as in fact, outside, the supporters of Omotoso who would gather outside carrying placards in numbers, singing, have also decreased. There's not a number of people or a large number of people outside court or inside court, but we do see responses from people of shock as Andisiwe continues or proceeds to give testimony.
Do we know how far the process is of engaging the courts in terms of getting access?
For the media, what I know is that Judge Irma Schoeman has made it clear that the media will not be allowed, especially with the cameras, to enter inside court. And I do know that this trial is likely not to be broadcasted live, because as you'll remember, Andisiwe Dike did mention after Irma Schoeman made her ruling that she doesn't have a problem with cameras being inside court and with her particular case being broadcasted live. But despite this, Irma Schoeman stood her ground and said that she would not allow any cameras inside court. So basically, this is probably how things are going to go from now on.
What can we expect today?
Today, what we can basically expect is for Daubermann to continue with the cross-examination, where he's expected, judging from yesterday, to go even in depth to the occasion of the alleged event, especially with regards to the sexual assault charges and the rape charges, because he did mention earlier on that there could have been an element of consent between Omotoso and the witness in terms of what had happened. And he also mentioned that it looks like where the two co-accused are implicated, the witness is making a lot of assumptions, because there is no way they could have been in the room that the alleged sexual assaults occurred, as they were not there actually. So it looks like today he will continue to probe her even further to get the actual truth out of her story.
Thank you so much for bringing us up to date there, our reporter outside the Port Elizabeth High Court under Nqonji.